And cool and dry this evening across West Alabama. 54 Tuscaloosa, 45 in Jasper. Your local forecast here in just a few minutes.
A group of local women working to combat period poverty in West Alabama, who their efforts help and how you can get involved. And a local event allowed residents to shop for a good cause. How sales benefit one important organization. WVUA 23 News starts right now.
This is WVUA 23 News at 10.
We're glad you're with us. I'm Laura Vale. Tonight we start with sports after Alabama played a close game against the Tennessee Volunteers. Sports anchor Nathan Brown is in for a look at that game and more. Nathan?
That's right, Laura. Thank you. It was the 107th all-time meeting between the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Tennessee Volunteers, a top 15 matchup. Both teams coming into this one desperate and hungry to get back on track in the first half. Both teams continued to struggle as it was 7-0 Bama at halftime. But in the second half, we got what we were looking for. You'll see Jalen Milroe connecting to Ryan Williams for that first touchdown in the first half. Later on in the second, Alabama took a 17-14 lead early in the fourth, but Tennessee would find an answer late. Nico Iamaleava found Chris Braswell for a touchdown as Tennessee reclaimed a 21-17 lead. Now Tennessee feeling good, looking to hold on to this one, and it would be late in the fourth where Alabama would suffer a critical fourth down penalty as they were trying to make the comeback. You'll see the play here, Kendrick Law all drawn up to Justice Haynes. Tennessee still holding on to the lead here. They get the stop. Now, if one first down and this one will be over, but Alabama got the ball back 2 minutes ago, and Milroe is picked off by Will Brooks. The kid from Vestavia Hills is the hero for Tennessee, and they are going to walk away with this one, scoring the huge win over Alabama, 2 straight in Tennessee for the Volunteers. Take a listen to what Josh Heupel had to say about the 24-17 victory.
There's nothing better walking off with off the field with the crowd surrounding you and a cigar in your mouth.
Absolutely. Much more to come, including full game highlights and reactions from both Kalen DeBoer and players later in sports. That's all for now, Laura. Back to you.
The University of Alabama has announced their Grand Marshal for this year's homecoming parade, and he's a former All-American for the Crimson Tide. Sean Alexander played from 1996 until 1999 and continues to hold the single-game rushing record set in 1996 versus LSU of 291 yards. Alexander will serve as Grand Marshal on October 26 when the Crimson Tide hosts the Missouri Tigers. Turning our attention to the weather, Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott joins us. Richard, what temperatures can we expect this week?
Hey, Laura, cool and dry for tonight, then warming up just a bit for the work week coming up. Right now, we got 53 in Tuscaloosa, 45 in Jasper. Birmingham still upper 50s now on the satellite and radar. Skies are clear, and again, that air very dry, allowing temperatures to drop off quickly. And here's that Sunday forecast, up to 74 by lunchtime, but understand we'll be in the low 40s to mid 40s at daybreak, then upper 70s by mid-afternoon. We'll talk more about that weekend forecast and the rest of the weekend, and look at the 7-day here in just a few minutes.
The 53rd Annual Kentuck Arts Festival is this weekend. The festival is taking place at the newly renovated Snow Hinton Park in Tuscaloosa. WVUA 23's Mary Lou Lopez has more.
This crowd is larger than any I've ever seen at Kentuck.
This comes from Randy Fowler, who has been coming to the Kentuck Art Festival for about 25 years. This is the first time the festival is held at Snow Hinton Park, and with it came many changes. New routes, bathrooms, accessible pathways, and more open space are just some of the new traits guests can enjoy. And for frequent attendees, these improvements make a big difference.
More ample parking. The paths are paved. When the shade trees grow in, it's just going to be as much fun as the old location.
And with the new routes and walkways, transportation is a lot easier, and golf carts are able to drive right through the crowd without bumping into anyone.
But not only are these changes improvements for guests, but for concessions and artists as well.
It's a big improvement in comparison to Kentuck Park, because it's the logistics is much better. It's more spacey, not so kind of like condensed like it was at the Kentuck Park.
The festival is a great way to gather the community and appreciate the talents of others. because for some, the festival is more than just buying art.
You see old friends that you might not see until next year at Kentuck, and that's fine.
The Kentuck Arts Center has announced the winners from today on their Facebook page, including Best in Show, Award of Distinction, and Merit Award winners. This morning at the Piggly Wiggly on University Boulevard, a group of female advocates set up donation bins for the Period Pantry. Feminine hygiene products were collected to help benefit temporary emergency services. Members of the community could drop off items or buy right inside the store and leave them in the bins. The drive ran from September 19th through today. And for one of the organizers of the drive, she says it's a great way to help women in the community.
For us to be able to raise awareness that temporary emergency services has these items where young ladies can go, I think that that's a wonderful thing. And, you know, knowing that the Junior League of Tuscaloosa is helping them to stock their shelves for this initiative is a wonderful thing.
Donations for the online gift registry are still open. You can donate on the Tuscaloosa Junior League website for stores such as Walmart and Amazon. Today at the Rise Center, many deal gathered shopping enthusiasts for a good cause. The two-day event featured over 40 Tuscaloosa merchants who donated items to sell at the charity sale. And today, shoppers enjoyed 90% off of a wide variety of items. All the proceeds of the sale will go directly to the Rise Center and provide free tuition for families with children who have challenges. And this year, the sale went positively.
It looks like last night our numbers were up, so that's good, the register numbers, and then it looks like from the crowd we've got here today, we'll be selling more merchandise, and you know, this just helps Rise be able to provide our services at no cost to our families that have children with challenges, so it's so important to us that we're able to do that.
Governor Kay Ivey has called a special meeting for Tuesday to consider the immediate removal of Kent Davis as Commissioner of the Alabama Department of Veterans Affairs. In addition to notifying the board, she also sent a letter to Admiral Davis enclosing the 7 reasons for his prompt removal. They are general lack of operation, mishandling of the ARPA grant program, the filing of frivolous ethics complaint, a breach of agreement, manipulation of the board, failure to apply, and the loss of trust and confidence. The meeting is scheduled for 2 o'clock that afternoon. Mayor Walt Maddox has announced he will seek re-election as Tuscaloosa's mayor. Under his leadership, the city has provided thousands of high school students with dual enrollment scholarships, strengthened public safety, and created a vibrant downtown and riverfront. You can learn more about Mayor Maddox and his accomplishments at waltmaddox.com. The City of Tuscaloosa is accepting applications for one position on the Zoning Board of Adjustments. The applicant must be a resident of the City of Tuscaloosa and be able to attend monthly meetings. The term will end September 28th of 2027. Visit Tuscaloosa.com to learn more about the Zoning Board of Adjustments and to submit an application. Applications will be open until 5 p.m. on October 29th. In Pickens County, the city of Reform is getting nearly $470,000 to improve their water system. Reform's Mayor Melody Davis confirms the money was awarded to the city, along with 6 other projects in the state. The mayor posted on her Facebook page that the money will improve commercial attractiveness and residents' quality of life. She mentions the grant will not be enough to cover the total cost of the project, and she is requesting more from the Delta Regional Authority. Election Day is just 17 days away. How the race to 270 is looking as candidates hit the battleground states today. And the 5-week-long Boeing machinist strike has finally reached an end. What the agreements of the deal are, we'll have those stories and more when we return. The candidates are going full steam ahead as the presidential election is just weeks away now. Today, Vice President Kamala Harris will campaign in Michigan and Georgia, while former President Donald Trump holds a rally in Pennsylvania. And early voting is underway in many states, including key battleground Georgia, that has seen record turnout. Rob Kirkpatrick has more.
The race for the White House is heating up as the final weekends of the campaign draw near. With just 17 days until Election Day, both Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump are rallying voters in key battleground states, including Michigan.
So many things happened in Detroit, and it's been treated so badly, and they've been talking about comebacks for so long, but we're going to bring it back better than it ever was.
And now Donald Trump is making the same empty promises to the people of Michigan that he did before.
The stakes in these closing weeks couldn't be higher. CNN's poll of polls shows no clear leader in the presidential race, with likely voters supporting Harris at an average of 50%, while 49% prefer Trump. Voting is already underway in 42 states with more than 11 million ballots cast so far. The key battleground state of Georgia saw record turnout on the first day of early voting.
I think everyone realizes this is probably one of the most important elections they're going to have in years. And then when they get it done.
I wasn't even really thinking about voting early, except for the fact that my daughter's back from college for fall break. So I just figured I'd go with her.
And both candidates are targeting early voters in a race that is razor thin.
Early voting is underway, so get everyone you know and go out and vote.
I think it's great that people are turning out and voting and being active.
I'm Rob Kirkpatrick reporting.
A tentative deal has been reached to end the weeks-long strike at Boeing. The International Association of Machinists announced the tentative deal today. According to the union, the offer would increase wages 35% over the 4-year life of the contract. It also includes a $7,000 signing bonus, as well as an increase of company contribution to the members' 401k plans. The deal still needs to be ratified by a majority of its rank-and-file members before workers can return to work. A vote has been scheduled for Wednesday. People in coastal areas impacted by hurricanes have something else to worry about. Flesh-eating bacteria, Vibrio filmificus, occurs naturally in warm coastal waters, but its concentrations can rise with heavy rain and flooding. Florida had 6 confirmed cases in September before Hurricane Helene arrived. That number rose to 24 by the end of the month and is now at 38. The bacteria is spread through drinking contaminated water or it coming into contact with open skin. You can also get it by eating improperly cooked seafood. Each year, about 20% of the 150 to 200 people who get the infection in the U.S. die.
And our local weather looking nice on Sunday. More on this and a look at that 7-day after the break. And all dry this evening across West Alabama, turning noticeably cool out there. This is our Brian Denny camera in Tuscaloosa, looking off towards the north direction. Temperature right now down to 53 now, to top out at 76. Quite warm this afternoon, right where we should be for this time of the year. The average high 76. Now look at the records. How about 91 in 2016 and 28 back in 1948? We can see some pretty big swings in numbers this time of the year in late October. Here's a look at Doppler radar. Things all quiet. No rain out there. No chance for rain for tonight. In fact, not anytime soon across the local weather. So we've got 45 at Jasper and Haleyville 46. Some of our cooler locations. Linden at 50. Birmingham, the warmer spot, at 59. I think most of us in the low to mid 40s tonight. Some of the cooler pockets may see upper 30s like Haleyville, maybe Jasper, Coleman, and Gadsden. 42 down in Demopolis. Here's our forecast for tomorrow for Sunday. 44 on average at daybreak, but we'll warm quickly. 74 at lunchtime. Then up to 79 by mid-afternoon. And hey, we've got a hurricane. Where'd this thing come from? Man, this thing popped up quickly. In fact, this may be one of the fastest areas we're watching to hurricane formation that I've seen. It's a small hurricane in the southeast Bahamas. Oscar, winds at 85 miles per hour. This storm will not impact the U.S. mainland. It's going to turn back north and then eastward with time here. And again, notice winds 85 moving west there at 12 miles per hour. It's going to move into southeast Cuba early next week, then a quick hook to the northeast, back into the Bahamas, and then out into the open Atlantic. We need some rain. We need it bad. We're getting dry around here. No expected rainfall for quite some time as dry weather conditions continue for the next 7 days. And obviously with that, zero in terms of the rain accumulation expected for the next 7 days. And it's still pretty cool across eastern third of the country, and we'll have those still cool overnight lows, but daytime highs warming quickly back at the low 80s for Monday and Tuesday. You'll notice those warmer temperatures coming up. So let's check out the 7-day forecast. We've got sunshine by the time we go into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. No evidence of rain at all, so we'll stay dry for quite some time. Look for, again, daytime highs in those lower 80s for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. There was some evidence could see some cooler weather by the time we get next week. But model data really kind of backing off on that idea of some cooler weather. Just looks like it's going to stay pretty warm and dry. Overnight lows begin to come up just a little bit by the time we get into late in the week. We're back in the 50s at night rather than 40. So I do expect dry weather conditions out there as well. Hear my forecast every day on 92.1 The Possum. And again, got some great looking weather this weekend. Yeah. Tomorrow going to be a little warmer after that cool start to the day. But watching the tropics, interesting that hurricane popped up Oscar out in the Atlantic very quickly. Fortunately, it's not going to impact us at all.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
Yes.
All right, well, sports anchor Nathan Brown is in for more of those sports highlights. Nathan?
Yes, Richard, it has been beautiful weather. It was actually a beautiful day for football in Knoxville. We have all the highlights coming up on that one, as well as hearing from Coach DeBoer and players following the Tide's second loss of the season, coming up in WVUA 23 Sports. Welcome back to the news at 10. Alabama heads home from Knoxville stunned following a 24-17 loss to the Volunteers. And like I mentioned before, you couldn't ask for a better scene for this one. A beautiful fall day in Knoxville just for this matchup. Now, Alabama strikes first as Jalen Milroe finds Ryan Williams early, putting it at 7-0. Now, Williams had 8 catches for 73 yards on 20 targets in this one. Now, in the second half, Tennessee looking to establish that run game when they tie things back up at 7-7. Dylan Sampson punching this one in, and like I mentioned, Tennessee getting things going on the ground. Now in the third quarter, Alabama leading 10-7 when punches it in again for the Volunteers, and Tennessee has their first lead 14-10. Sampson finished with 139 yards on the ground, but Justin Haynes would have an answer as the Crimson Tide respond immediately, racing it in from 7 yards out. Alabama reclaims the lead 17-14. Now Nico Iamaleava finds Chris Braswell as he lays out for this touchdown, and Tennessee now sitting at the lead, and they're looking comfortable, 20-17. Now, Alabama looking for something on fourth down, but they are stopped just short. Now, one first down would put it away for Tennessee, but Alabama would come up with a stop, sitting at 24-17. Last chance for Alabama, and Milroe is picked off by Will Brooks, and that would put the cap on it. Tennessee is going to walk away with it, and they are going to storm the field as they win the third Saturday of October, 24-17 over Alabama. Now, here's what head coach Kalen DeBoer had to say about the loss, their second loss of the season.
You got to look inward first and make sure, that everything you're doing is right. And then, anyone that you sense that that has any type of questioning, you got to make sure you bring them with. And the thing I know that with our guys, there's enough vets that know exactly what you're talking about to where it eats at them. And we got to continue to mesh the vets with the new guys, the ones that need to continue to understand what this program stands for and what it's all about.
He never have a muster it. Come in the locker room at the game and not be victorious. He gets us to rally together and really own in on what's in front of us, and that's just important to win out now and then attack each day and pay attention to little details and things like that. But this main message to us is just to stay together, stay positive, and everything is still in front of us.
Now, that one obviously was huge in the SEC rankings as well as what it does for the playoff. But we also have some score updates from around the rest of the SEC. Missouri handling business versus Auburn. South Carolina with a huge win over Oklahoma. Also, we had Georgia and Texas are still going. Texas A&M and Mississippi State. Texas A&M coming away with the win over the Bulldogs. Kentucky and Florida now sitting in the fourth quarter. Florida is leading that one currently, and it looks like they're going to walk away with it. And, of course, the big one of the day was, there's the score for Florida and Kentucky. And then you have LSU with the big win, avoiding a trap at Arkansas. Georgia currently sitting over Texas 30-15. That one late in the fourth. Sure to keep an eye on that one, and it will definitely affect the polls and the rankings coming up. We'll have that for you more. A big day around the SEC, and just continue to keep an eye out on what the polls look like tomorrow. We'll see a lot of the moving and shaking within the SEC and, of course, within the national playoff picture. Laura, it was a great day of football, and we'll definitely have more coming up.
Great day, but a sad day for Bama fans, that's for sure. Absolutely. All right, we'll stick around. We'll be right back after this. Some big Swifties in Indianapolis have created a spooky tribute to Taylor Swift. It's the Fearless Tour House, a wordplay on Swift's Eras Tour. The display has a skeleton for each of her albums, and the couple that lives there says they started planning the display in August. A thief stole 5 of the skeletons Thursday, and they turned up later in the day without their clothes. Taylor does a lot of wardrobe changes, so the couple plans to just dress them up again. They say they plan to add security cameras, and Swift has an upcoming concert in Indianapolis. She actually just started her show back in America in Miami last night, and I'm so jealous that I can't go.
Yeah, Taylor who?
Taylor's. She has a New Orleans show coming up, and I wish I could be there.
I guess even her skeletons need security. That's how popular she is.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. Well, going from Taylor Swift to sports, any news?
I would say Alabama fans, keep a little bit of hope alive. You know, the nail is not absolutely in the coffin, but they are going to need a little bit of help. It does look like Georgia is going to take out Texas, so that does help Alabama a little bit. But, I mean, you have to win the games that's in front of you, so that's step number 1.
Yeah, those polls are going to be crazy, aren't they?
Yeah, we'll definitely take a look tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. And I asked you about this earlier, but I'm scared about our chances for a playoff.
Yeah, I mean, everything was in front of them today. Tennessee is looking good. They're feeling good moving on from this one, but we'll see.
All right. Well, that's our report. Have a great night.